instead of 11 o'clock.
And instead, I'm like, not so fast, my friend.
Like 2 minutes, bro. It's on.
I'm going to get us going. Neil, send out the tweet. Say we are live. Say we are live, my friend.
Damn, isn't it past midnight for Neil? Damn, bro. I guess when you're in school, it doesn't matter as much. It's not like he has a 7 a.m.
Let's not pretend he's up at 6.
I was going to say.
Neil, what time do you wake up?
10:30. 9:45. 9:40. Whoa!
8. Okay, that's reasonable. I can respect that.
Wow.
What time's your first class? Oh, you still got work? Okay.
6:40 in Italy. 6:40 a.m. or p.m.?
The pod doesn't come out a day later on Apple Pods. The pod will be out at midnight, pretty much.
That's true. 6 a.m. in Italy.
I mean, I guess technically the next day, yeah. So, but
no,
yeah.
It's out. Yeah, but it's out at midnight. It's going to be out in like 2.5 hours. Producer Tim gets on.
Yeah, we're gonna finish it at 10ish. Do some editing. It'll be up within the hour. It's pretty fast turnaround. Tim's a man. All right, let's get to it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, as I said, we can bluster away when it's pod time. All right,
good mood.
Presented by Under Armour. Welcome to Light Years. Andy Liu, finally, the Warriors are back. Did that not feel like the longest week with no Warrior games? It felt, maybe it's because, Super Bowl hangover, nothing else has started. And it's just like, and they were playing good ball right before the break. Like, if they were playing like they were playing November, I'd be like, take 2 weeks off. I don't need this. But playing well, and they come back, and I feel like the story of the game is left off right where they ended. What's that? 9 of 11 now. Really look like they're locking into an identity. 128-110 win over the Lakers without LeBron James. They're fun to watch right now. I don't know how else. Like we can debate the upside and that they look like a team I want to watch every game they play.
All right. That's the perfect way to start this show, because that is the Warriors right now. And I don't know the last time I felt this way about the Warriors. Consistently now for over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the Warriors have been fun to watch.
2022, right?
Yeah, seriously. It might be since May of 2022. I mean, we titled the damn pod, man. The Warriors are fun to watch again. Like, okay, we could sit here and discuss for 45 minutes whether they can win the championship, but we've done that. You're right, though. It is fun watching right now. Wiggins, he's back. Clay's diamond up. Trace Jackson Davis. Draymond Green defensively is a show. Steph, 25 points in the first half. Blah, blah, whatever. Typical, right? But Jemski looks awesome. Kuminga's super controlled. It is just fun to watch them play basketball, regardless if they won by, 5 or 20, which is what they did. Pretty cool.
And they got me locked in. I want to see where this goes. Like, to your point, I think they might be a little too young, probably don't have enough size. All that stuff's true. Also true, they've won 9 of 11. They look like the Warriors. Things are building. This is the best ball Wiggins has played in well over a year. Mm-hmm. It's a good call out. Another strong game from him, particularly since Draymond came back, he remembered how to defend. I don't know, he forgot for about a year. Yeah. Just took a year off from defense. Yeah. But great two-way game again from him. Draymond, I mean, it goes without saying, the dude just makes everything go for this team. And Steph, Jokic had a perfect triple-double tonight, but you're still not going to get me to say any player in the NBA is better than Steph Curry. Just won't. It's not going to happen. I truly believe it. But then just like on down the line, they finally know who they are, like role-wise. Like Pods knows who he is. He does exactly what his role is. Kuminga had a rough first half, kind of struggled with Anthony Davis. That's going to happen. Anthony Davis is really good. He's a monster. But he came around the second half. Trace Jackson Davis off the bench. Probably should be playing more. Klay Thompson embracing coming off the bench. I like Klay's energy. He didn't play particularly well, like shooting the ball tonight, but like, did you see him on the, like, he was just a good teammate and down the whole game. Yes. And they feel like the Warriors and that's enough. Let's see where it goes. Maybe I shouldn't limit what their upside is. Maybe I shouldn't just put them in a box, because you know what? 9 of 11 is 9 of 11.
Well, the strength and number stuff is always, we make fun of it, but it always makes his team fun. It always makes his
Yeah.
team exciting, right? Moses Moody tonight. Go down the list. There's like 2 more names, right? Moses Moody played 20
Mhm.
minutes tonight, which it always makes me happy because we are all big Moses Moody fans. I think especially the light years goons. So it's good to see him play a ton because GP2 was out tonight. Quinones played 14 solid minutes as usual. He's always solid, and so it's just. I don't know. Even Looney, 8 minutes tonight, had a plus minus, but it's just nice to see everyone contribute. It's felt like more often than not, you go out there and, oh, this guy sucks tonight, right? This guy shouldn't be playing. This guy, why isn't he playing more? Or, I felt like me especially, all of us have been doing that for a year and a half, and it makes the
boring.
game just hurt. It just makes it hard to say, Sarge. We don't want to see Sarge. You know what I mean? I'm a proponent of that, but it's like it's hard to watch basketball like that as basketball fans. It's so much better to just enjoy watching um, all these guys succeed, and they're all
Yeah.
having fun. I think your point. Can we go back to the Clay stuff? Because I think all of that speaks a lot about this team right now. Is that
Mhm.
regardless if they're winning or losing, if Clay's bought in on the vision, which seems like he is, this team is going to make it. I don't know how far, but they're going to make it. They're going to be good because he's bought in.
It was like he came off the bench. He was happy with it. He couldn't hit a damn shot, but he also had 5 assists and was pretty instrumental in getting Trace Jackson Davis of all people going. Like,
Yep.
he did play a good game, even if his shot wasn't falling in general. It's just not like what you associate with Clay,
Right.
but it kind of speaks to the broader point, like bought into the team, just going to contribute the way it is. Tonight's not going to be a night he's hitting shots. Tomorrow, he might hit 8 threes for all I know, right?
He will.
But he's playing winning basketball instead of hunting his shot, instead of hunting game 6 Clay, like you could feel it with him a lot of the time where it's like he knows he's struggling. No, he's not selfish. He just kind of like, he's the type of guy who, like, if the weight's on him, like he wants to shoot even more to get out of the slump, which is normal, right? For someone who's that proud. And it feels like he's just letting it go and he's just playing the game a little more. And it's fun to see because it wasn't fun to watch Clay when he was really in his own head with his shot for a while.
It's sad, right? It went from oh, sit him to damn. Can we not watch this anymore? Can he just sit for a week and think it over? I thought a pretty emblematic of his mindset was he had a pretty open 3, like relatively open 3 in the fourth quarter, and 2 guys jumped out at him, and he could have taken it. 1 for 8, he could have, but he said, I'm going to go kick it to Trace Jackson Davis, and Trace Jackson TJD had a wide open dunk. And he's always been a decent pocket passer. It's nice to see him not, not force it. You said it, not force it. You just make the easy plays. This is less stressful.
Never once seen a shooter in the corner, but pocket pass.
No.
Money.
Not the drive, not the Draymond, not the Steph, right? But or Pods, honestly. Pods makes a great pass. It's also less pressure when he's off the bench, right? It was nice to see him go up against like Jackson Hayes and Max Christie and all these not as good players, and we'll see it throughout the rest of the season. Is he's gonna go up against these lesser bench units, and I don't know, he could do more stuff. It's better for him.
Yeah, it's better for everyone. We kind of danced around Trace Jackson Davis, but like Steph's the story of the game because he's Steph Curry and because he came out on fire. I feel like he's figured out Anthony Davis and the Lakers in general.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about that actually first.
Okay.
They've struggled with the Lakers because the Lakers are really good at what the Warriors are weak at, right? Like Anthony Davis is the big who can guard the perimeter and protect the rim at the same time. LeBron's obviously LeBron. Like they tend to overpower the Warriors. They didn't have LeBron tonight. That's not a small deal, of course. But what I've noticed with Steph the last couple times he played the Lakers, he goes straight at AD. He doesn't like hesitate attacking him. And he tries to get him in motion, going the other way and just relocate around him, get around. Like attack him a little bit instead of like giving him too much respect in general. And I think that he's the best player on the floor. He shouldn't be afraid of anyone. So just do it. And it does feel like the Warriors kind of got there during the playoff series last year, but they didn't have enough guys and they couldn't finish the job.
Right.
But it's like, look, you're not going to like intricately pass your way to a layup around Anthony Davis. The only way you're going to do it is you engage him, you take him on, and then you kick to the guy who's a little more open, and then you move from there. That's been kind of a market change of the way they've played against the Lakers relative to like the last couple of years where it feels like Anthony Davis is the best player in the NBA anytime he goes against the Lakers.
I love that take. Now that you say that is, he has gotten better at kind of going. He did it the last game because this game was less Steph, you got to go to shoot.
Less high stakes.
Right. Yeah. The last game, but when you saw double overtime, he was going at the AD. One of his game-tying baskets was dribbling in the key, dribbling out, faking, and then getting back in the key, right? Just totally faking him out. And then hit that super long three that should have won them the game. So that's interesting. I think one person that's important to understand is Kuminga. That drive and kind of go at AD. Kuminga did that a few times tonight. The line doesn't look great. 5 for 12, 12 points. But I thought Kuminga actually played really well because of what you're saying, of attacking AD, finding the right spots to attack AD. Look, man, he's probably the best big man defender in the entire NBA, but he's not going to block every freaking shot. He's not. He's going to get tired. He played 33 minutes tonight. He's not going to be able to play elite defense and then score 30 points a game. He's going to have to pick one. He's going to have to take possessions off. And I think we saw Kuminga go at AD a little bit, or at least try to get to the hole a little bit.
Yeah.
And he drew a foul on him, right? He got that second foul on him at the end of the first quarter or first half, whichever one it was. And it was just, I thought that's the one guy that this team, you say Steph, which is of course true, that can attack the hole and not give him super respect. But the other guy is Kuminga, where it's just, he's gonna be the guy that can draw fouls in there, and he can't be afraid. And of course, you look back to last playoff series, Kuminga didn't play.
Who didn't play?
Right,
yeah.
Right, exactly. So a bit of a difference there.
And to tie that point together, Kuminga started really poor. He had a couple of those.
Yeah.
A little hesitation going up for it. AD gets to a ball that 9 out of 10 centers don't get to. You could see Kuminga's like, oh, well, that worked against Mason Plumlee. Why is it not working tonight? That sort of thing. And to your point, what I liked about it is he didn't stop, because I feel like a lot of Anthony Davis's value is like he blocks something freakish. Now it's in your head and you don't try it for 4 quarters, right? And then he gets to rest because you're not trying it, right? Like that's intimidation. You're like, oh, I can't take that shot. He's going to block it. So next thing you know, he doesn't even have to defend that hard. He just kind of has to stand there and stare at you. And that's the other thing the Warriors kind of figured out, which is just like, I think it started with Steph, but Kuminga came along too, which is like, look, man, he's going to block some of them because he's that good, but he doesn't have the legs to contest us for 48 minutes. We're in better shape than him. Wear him out. So yeah, I think it kind of ties the overall point, which is like, they gave the Lakers too much respect for too long. Like, yeah, those dudes can block some shots, but like, you're not going to win a game if you're afraid to attack.
Yeah. The same with Wiggins. I think no LeBron tonight, which is a huge deal. But I think that huge deal is more on defense for the Warriors, is how they guard a LeBron offense versus LeBron on defense. LeBron on defense doesn't do anything anymore. He doesn't even care. But yeah, it's more so on the other side. Thought the refs were good tonight. I mean, the comments are blowing up about I thought they were really good tonight. There was a couple bullshit foul calls for sure, but anytime you play a team with D'Angelo Russell, who apparently just is always going to kill the Warriors now. I don't understand how that's. I guess he just dislikes every game.
It's personal for him.
Yeah, it's personal. So every game he's just going to destroy them. Even though the percentages didn't look great, but I mean, geez, Sam, I just 10 seconds, man. I cannot stand D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, and now Spencer Dinwiddie just trying to draw the stop and flop call 20 times. I cannot do it.
Dude, you'd think Steph is prime Shaq, the way they like touch him and bounce off of him as
Bounce
if he's
off,
like,
right?
yeah.
They do the thing where I've never tried this, and I never will, but they get the first step on
You
someone.
throw your back out if you try it now.
Dude, I can't dribble, so it's harder for me to do that. And I'm not blowing by someone on the first step, so that's actually a big difference. But like, he gets by someone, all three of these clowns, and then they stop as you're coming up against them. Then they fly 5 feet sideways. Like, I can't. It's not basketball. Anyway, that's I hate it. I can't stand it.
They really are just like the grifters. It's fucking annoying.
And they're gonna get Trae Young. Don't add to it. It's worse. Ugh. Sorry, keep it moving.
Honestly, I'm glad they're gonna get Trae Young because I want to hate the Lakers. Like I do. Like I don't want them to be likable. I want them to only acquire the stars that I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you're a Laker. You make it easy for me to tap into my high school hatred of the Lakers.
Mm.
So, like if they got who's a player I really like, who's on the Warriors. If they got like Jokic, it'd be a little more problematic for me just because like I don't find him hateable. Like he's ridiculously good.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I prefer them just acquire the players I dislike, basically.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
Well, the Warriors vibes are great right now, but guess who's coming back?
I think the only way it can work is if everybody buys in, everybody accepts the fact that every night can be a little different. But
so this is a brief snippet, but Chris Paul should be back in the next few days. And I mean, we got to talk about it a little bit. Like, are you concerned?
Yes.
That just because, whose minutes is he going to take? Is it going to change the flow? Keep going down the line of reasons. Like Steve's not going to not play him, is he going to play him too much though? These are all like kind of questions I have right now.
Oh, I'm concerned. Oh, I'm very concerned. I'm extremely concerned, Samuel. Because whether he's good or not, because he's been good this season when he's been on the court.
Mm-hmm.
The concern is he going to play too much? What's the over-under on minutes where it becomes concerning for Chris Paul? I think it's 22 and a half.
I could go with that. I was going to say 20, but yeah. I think 23 is like the line of demarcation. He shouldn't play more than that.
Yep.
22 and a half. We'll go 22 and a half.
22 and a half.
He should not play more than 20-ish minutes if they're fully healthy, period.
Yep.
And now, I will say we don't know how much Kerr would have truly played him in the early season if Draymond didn't consistently get himself suspended. But with Draymond playing this well, there's just not a lot of reason to be playing Chris Paul and Draymond all those minutes together.
It should be. The spin is that the Chris Paul, Trace Jackson Davis, Saric, Clay, and who's the other guy? Wiggins bench unit, pretty effing good. Pretty effing good. Because now the offense is going to flow pretty easy. Paul is going to get Saric better looks. Saric has been struggling. He's going to get him better looks. He's going to get Clay all the great looks. Defensively, you hope.
Get Wiggins on cuts. Yeah,
exactly. Offensively, that lineup, man, it can score. Defensively, I have questions, but it's a bench unit. Whatever, you can survive. Maybe 10 of those minutes. Maybe CP3 can play with Steph a little bit. Then he takes the bench units all the way to the 6-minute mark. Right, that's 10 minutes right there. So, I imagine that. I hope that's the case, but I got a feeling he's going to be closing some games in the place of Podziemski or Klay Thompson. So, and if I see him closing for Kuminga, I will lose it. But I'm in a good mood tonight, Sam. So I'm not even going to say that into the universe.
It is, but I mean, it is a question coming up. In theory, he should be able to help the team, but there's a lot of we'll see. They shouldn't be playing him over some bigger players. Anyway, should we pay some bills?
Let's go. Tonight's a good night for it. The Light Years podcast is brought to you by Under Armour. Steph Curry makes you believe you can do everything and anything. And their Curry 11s are specifically designed with ultimate bounce, grip, stability to allow everyone to do their thing. New generations of ball players are coming up and showing the basketball world that the old rules do not apply. The future is exciting, fast, positive, and hungry. This NBA season, rock with your favorite player and rep your shoes on off the court. The Curry 11s are perfect for both the committed and casual ballers. The UA Warp Tech makes the shoe feel like it was designed for your feet, locked in no matter what you do on the court, stopping your tracks with dual density UA flow cushioning and traction. An emergency brake. You don't even notice. Steph's 11th signature shoe steps into the second decade of a sneaker career, pulling colorway inspiration from the wonders of a positive and modernized future on and off the court. Take these kicks with you when you leave the scrimmage and rep UA wherever you go. Do your thing. Change the game. The Curry 11 Future Curry, available now at currybrand.com. This week's Light Years podcast brought to you by Game Time. Game Time, the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. I think I'm going to go to the Hornets game tomorrow. Friday night, I'm doing a post game. There's really no better way than
You
checking
heard
it
Grant
out.
Williams was in town. You're like, gotta be there. 4-0 in the Grant Williams era.
Oh, I can't
My
even
voice
finish
like cracked like I'm a teenager. That's perfect.
I can't even finish the read.
Oh.
I want to see Grant Williams. I want to see I can't even name another guy on the team. Miles Bridges, I guess, is having a good year. So here's what you can do. With killer last minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Game Time, the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. Buy tickets in seconds with 2 taps. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LIGHTYEARS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LIGHTYEARS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
I might have to go too.
You thinking about it? I'm going to be honest. I forgot there was a game tomorrow night. And then
It did kind of sneak up on the schedule because you got Denver on Sunday, which is a sexy matchup. And, Lakers, obviously a big matchup. You get the Hornets in there in the middle. Forget about it. Probably not. But if things play in my favor, maybe.
It should be cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more. We'll see. Anyway.
I mean, you got to get a babysitter. Some of us don't. You know what I mean? Big difference between you and I.
Different conversations. Anyway. We weren't going to not talk about this. So
here we go.
ESPN today, the great Baxter Holmes put an article about the Warriors dynasty at a crossroads. Honestly, it's more about like Joe Lacob, Steve Kerr, and Steph Curry than anything. And we got to talk about it a little bit. I would urge everyone, if you haven't read it, to read it. I would say majority of the article isn't new info. It's just it's like Joe Lacob kind of admitting to a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like there was Lacob quotes in there that were just honest, but kind of, I don't know. Let's start here. Like it's him acknowledging that, I'll read one of these quotes. He goes, there's some truth in that. There's also truth to the second point, which is we had the 3 greatest players that want to try to win the right way. There's a factor. The coaching. No, that's not the quote I want to get to. The quote is, we now have some incredible potential. We have a bridge to the future. When you can do both those things at once, it's magic. And it's Lacob discussing the 2 timeline plan and how they wanted to do that. And in some ways at the expense of Steph Curry. I don't know. Let me take it back a step because I don't have the right quote in front of me. Was anything in this article really surprising to you?
So I was literally going to ask you that. Why do you think this article was written? Let me take it another step back. Well, why did this come out today?
Warriors drive traffic, baby.
I'm with you. This is nothing that I think listeners don't know. Right? I think, hey, look, these guys messed up the 2 timelines. They shouldn't have done it. Not happy about it. Joe Lacob really wants to win, but he thinks he's smarter than he is, type of stuff. So yeah, I'm just curious. I felt like you would know, just why the Warriors popped this one out.
No, that's an
holiday.
that is an interesting question, because let me give the synopsis for people who haven't read it yet, without giving away the whole article. The article is kind of talking about how Lacob wanted this grand plan of, we're going to draft these superstars and develop, and we're never going to be bad, and it's going to be this whole 2 timeline thing. And it's a lot of people around the team who are like, man, that's pretty arrogant to think you can do that. You probably should have been locked in on trying to maximize Steph Curry's prime instead of trying to get too cute and do too many things. I think my favorite quote in the whole piece was the one about the Chicago Bulls, where someone goes, can you remember one player the Bulls developed in the mid-90s that helped carry them when Michael Jordan was gone? It's a fair point, like the Bulls were locked into winning until they weren't locked in. They didn't try to like draft the successor to Jordan and prioritize that over just continually winning in general. The article is kind of a pointed criticism at Lacob.
Yeah, it is.
It kind of came across like someone saying, you should have listened to Steve Kerr and Steph Curry a little more the entire way. And if I had to guess, it kind of felt like someone who was trying to make sure Steve gets extended properly.
Whoa.
That's kind of the way I'm reading it. I don't know. Maybe that's me reading too much into the tea leaves here, but there was some Kerr quotes that were quite fascinating in here, where he goes, Steve's never been hesitant to play anyone. Okay. It's more about being ready to play the way we play, which is unique. Steve's job is to win games. If guys are ready and in position to help, he'll play them, which is, again, pointing at stuff we knew, which is they pick guys who were either just terrible players like James Wiseman, or like Kuminga, where you're like, dude, it's going to take him 2 years to figure it out.
And it took him 2.5 years to figure it out.
And it did take him 2 years to figure it out, and that sort of stuff. And when you're looking at all this stuff and you're going, could it have been done different to maximize everything? It does kind of read like the Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, that whole camp being like, yeah, we won a title in 2022, but we won it in spite of you, dude. Not because of you,
I do think, as you're talking through it, I think that argument, quote unquote, and it might just be winner. Oh, they're all winners at the end. They are all winners at the end because all these guys have won 4 titles together. But I do think maybe the argument between Steve Kerr and Joe Lacob maybe does come down to Kuminga. How good can Kuminga be? Because if Kuminga's just going to be, like a good above average player, like if he just ends up being Aaron Gordon, then I think you could say Steve Kerr's, he was probably right. Like, just get me guys that I like playing. There's a reason why Podziemski's playing 30 minutes a game right now as a rookie. And Kuminga didn't. It's because Kuminga plays the way that Steve Kerr likes. But if Kuminga fulfills the potential that Joe Lacob and certainly a lot of people in the organization think he has, and he ends up being like a bigger Jimmy Butler, I don't know, say I'm just throwing shit out there, like a bigger Jimmy Butler, then you could say,
sure,
it was worth it. The 2 years was worth it. So I think it comes down to Kuminga. But I how about this? And I tweeted this morning. Lacob had a few quotes in there, not anything new, kind of just saying, we're always going to try to win. Blah 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 blah. He does his usual selling stuff.
Can you tell he's raised money in the past?
He's really good at it. It always tickles me when people are so angry about Joe Lacob. Like, oh, he should have done this. He should have done that. I'm going to tell you something, man. We've been fans of teams and organizations. You've been fans of organizations in Oakland. I've been fans of the teams in San Francisco. We've seen some shitty owners. Right now there are some shitty owners that own the A's. Not as bad as, Giants, not as bad as the A's. Maybe the Niners in the past. Joe Lacob is one of the best owners and we've seen in the Bay Area ever. He cares.
I mean, he cares. And so to piggyback off that, there's one name that wasn't mentioned in this article.
Oh.
The architect of the dynasty, Bob Myers. I love that he's now like that's his branding, the architect. I don't know. It sounds kind of cool, right?
Startup
He
from Bobby.
yeah, he it's not hard for me to read this and be like, Bob's getting some shots at Joe because he's mad at the way everything went down, right? So I don't know if that's the case, but that's the way I'm reading it. And I will say this about the Laker point you're making. As time goes on, I just end up more mad at Bob Myers than Joe Lacob for the way everything played out. Because I don't expect the 65-year-old venture capitalist to know everything there is to know about basketball. I expect his incredibly well-paid president of basketball operations to be the person who gets in front of him and says, this won't work. James Wiseman is a bad idea. These are bad ideas. And it's easy to say it 4 years later as we're looking at it down the line. So I'm willing to say, like, that's also kind of hindsight bias on my point. But look, man, they did end up trading Wiseman. They did end up doing multiple moves that indicate that Lacob's not as inflexible as he can sometimes appear to be. I kind of feel like to your point, shocker, guy who owns a sports team wants to be involved. Like, that's just life. That's not changing with any owner. You need to just surround him with better people. And so that's kind of where I'm at.
He's committed to this team, man. I don't know. I look at the Giants. I don't know, man. They're not committed to winning. Come on. And like you look at it's not many sports
Not
owners are
buying
that.
Tristan Beck breakout.
Like, dude, their salary, their payroll is middle of the road for a team that's worth. The Giants are not a poor organization. You know this. You know the real estate down there that they own. They are not a poor organization. They are cheap. And so it's like, and honestly, that's across baseball. So it's not really just the Giants, just baseball owners. I mean, just a lot of owners are cheap. It's just how it is, man. It's just cheap owners everywhere. They're just worried about profit. They don't care about winning. They're worried about making money, game over game. And that's not really Joe Lacob. He cares about making money for sure, but feels like he cares about winning first. At least it's always shown that way. And dude, he fucks up all the time, and we've seen it. But I don't know. I'd rather have that than go root for a guy that would probably just not pay the tax. Probably would have been like, okay, we're not signing Clay, or we're not trading for Wiggins. We're not keeping the CP3 slot open because we don't want to trade for something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he could have kind of cut for a long. And I'm not. Damn, I just spent like 5 minutes defending Lacob. Sometimes I get a little annoyed. People are just always, he did this, he's the worst at this. It's just like, guys, what are we doing?
And here's where I'm at. They made a mistake. You and I called it out in real time. I don't care to victory lap about how I was right. Although every one of you who disagreed with me should apologize. My email address is in my bio. Send the apology. I'm beyond it. They traded Wiseman for nothing to get back GP2, who apparently doesn't wash his hands, so he gets sick every other week for no reason. And now they have, they paid Wiggins and Poole after they won a title, and that kind of blew up in their face for a period of time too. Poole more than Wiggins, but both of them have not lived up to their contracts to date.
Boy.
Again, one worse than the other, but the point stands. Wiggins is back on the up, so
Poole got
I'll let it
benched
go
in Washington.
And so we'll see what they do this offseason, because this roster feels incomplete right now. They do finally have a little flexibility this offseason to do a few things, but I don't know. I guess my main point is I don't expect owners to not be involved. Like, I don't expect him not to be involved. So I kind of just look at it through the lens of, are you making the right decisions? And we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, it's a big offseason. Big. You just kind of hinted at the end there. Mm-hmm. It's a big offseason. What are they going to do with the CP3 contract, and how much are they going to sign Clay for? It is really what it is.
It's really not just that. It's, do they extend Kuminga? Do they, which they probably should.
Which
do
they
they
will. Come on.
Do they use it, to your point, do they use the flexibility they're gaining with contracts coming off of the book to remaneuver and like get a different impact? Because this is the first off season they'll have some tangible flexibility, you know?
Yep.
And
a lot of picks.
And they gave and after 2024, they don't really owe anyone picks. So do they move picks to get other players? Like, there's a lot of things they could do. This and we'll see. We'll see. I do agree with you. Like, the takeaway from it is nothing we didn't know. The dude eats, sleeps, and whatever's wanting to win. And also he thinks he's a little more of a basketball savant than he is and needs to be saved from himself a little more than he does.
I think the pretty interesting you bring up the Bob Myers. Do you think if Bob Myers came to Joe Lacob in 2020 and said, hey, listen, we cannot go with James Wiseman. I know you love him. He's big, he speaks Chinese, and all that fun stuff, but we can't do it. We got to draft. And it's like, okay, we can't go with LaMelo because Steve Kerr hates him. All right, but we got to go and trade back, and we got to go get like an Okongwu. Or God forbid, Tyrese Halliburton, yes. Do you think Lacob goes for it? And I think, to your point, like, maybe actually, like, it's definitely not a no. I think Lacob could be.
I think so.
Like, yeah, right. And then
because
that's your point. That's your point.
At this point, how many different versions of the 2020 draft story have you heard? Like, privately?
Well,
like I know because I'm on the same, like,
I know it. You know it because you told me it.
I've heard a lot of versions of it, and they all come back to, Steve didn't like LaMelo. And they were uncomfortable with this, and they thought Wiseman was the safest compromise for everyone, which turned out to be the wrong way to go about it. So I don't know. I think he could have turned some heads there. I think things are tough. Things change, but whatever.
Right. Yeah, we'll move along here, just like Baxter.
We'll move along. I don't have that much passion for this topic just because I feel like we did 2 fucking seasons on it.
2 years on
it. Like, I'm just ready to move on. I'm ready for the next thing. So
we got Pods and Kuminga now, baby.
We won. It's. I'm gonna pull it up right now. The reality of the matter is, Andy Liu, Santos Fandiari, were correct.
Yeah, we
won.
We were right.
And I don't need to rub that in your faces anymore. But again, written apologies. If you came into our mentions and made quasi-racist comments about how we don't know basketball, now would be a good time to, just be like, hey, sorry, I assumed you didn't know what you're talking about. Anyway, it's a different conversation. I won. All right. Should we get to the Goons? I think we should get to the Goons a little bit.
There we go. It's been a while for the Goons for me. I missed the Goons. Let's go. Miss Breaking Bad. Yeah, someone said y'all been podcasting about the Warriors for 9 years. Golly, it's been 9 years.
I don't think it's been 9.
So that's what someone said.
It has been. It has.
Someone said 9 years, man. 2015.
Dude, I'm in like denial of my age, what year it is. I'm in so many things. Anyway, Will, we gotta get an OG leading off. Will Decker, what's up, man?
Wow, been a while. I think if he can unmute himself.
Yes, what's good, fellas? How are we doing?
There we go. What's up, man?
Good mood. Feeling good about this team. Mood is on the up. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Anytime you can beat the Lakers, LeBron or not, it is so satisfying to the fabric of any being. It's fantastic. One thing I got to comment on, though, man. Yes, we whiffed on Wiseman. Yes, it sucks that we whiffed on Wiseman. Weirdest draft ever, though, 2020. You can't work out anybody. The guy played 4 games, ultimately mistaked. What I can't do, though, is I can't complain about our owner that's paying like $200, $300 million extra a year just to try to keep this thing rolling. Like, that's the type of guy. I mean, is he quirky? Is he weird? Yes. I'm not the biggest fan of the person that I've seen, but I mean, outside of Eddie DeBartolo, this is probably the best owner the Bay Area has ever had, if I'm being 100% honest. I can't complain with the guy,
honestly, like for those of us old enough to remember, like he is Eddie D, for better or worse, right? Like it's the same. It's the same thing. Eddie was just as bombastic. There's like stories about how like he tried to fire Bill Walsh like so many times, and Carmen Policy had to be like, you don't know what like you need to take a lap, sleep on it a little bit. You don't want to fire your Hall of Fame coach right now. You know,
That's awesome.
Eddie D seems a little cooler though. Like he'd go out and like party with the players. It sounded like Lacob tries to do that, but like I'm sure Steph kind of he's like, "Hey, buddy, let's you're not coming with me tonight." You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things. But I don't know. I love Lacob for how invested he is in trying to make this team competitive. I mean, let's be honest, man. I watched Game 6, 2022 Finals highlights. Jordan Poole was amazing in that first quarter with 21 points. Listen, he's never been a superstar. Did we overpay him for $140 million? He's the perfect sixth man, and he lost his confidence because his teammate knocked his ass out in the freaking practice last year. I mean, like, have you ever been to a job where you have to show up every day where a guy knocked you out? Like, that probably affects you in the workplace. I'm just gonna say that. Like, yeah, he lost his confidence because his big brother on the team swung on him, and he just has never been the same since. But he was right, man. We've seen that version of Poole. And listen, Wiggins, I don't think he loves basketball. It sucks. But don't let that distract you, man, from the fact that he sunned Jason Tatum in that finals. You kind of have to pay him after that. And he took a discount compared to what he could have gotten, in my opinion. So, listen, I'm not saying we're perfect. But I'm also saying every dynasty ends ugly, man. And like, well, I think we got a couple of years left in this if we do things smartly. What do we expect, man? You know what I mean? Like, it's one of the greatest runs in the history of American sports. Like, we got to enjoy this team.
Yeah.
I'm bummed about Clay. He sucked tonight, but he's also probably the second best Warrior of the last 50 years. And I want to see him in a Warriors jersey moving forward. So that's what I got, guys. Big win coming out of the All-Star break. Let's keep this momentum going. I need Kuminga to be the Kuminga he was for that 3 to 5 week stretch. If we get that version, hey man, let's get the 6th seed. That's all I got to say. Go Dubs.
Appreciate you, Will. Good call. Strong.
We need more, Will. We need more. Come back again.
Strong call, my friend.
Good man.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like we can litigate to death, but it's just like feeling positive about the direction right now. Now I got Tatiana up here to pour some cold water on my head.
Tatiana, you got to put on headphones. I think that's what we're gonna have you do from now on because we love having you on, but we're trying to talk to you, instead of hearing the echo.
All right. So the one thing I will say, the Culture Bowl. That's when we should do the payment for the bet. All right. That's the one thing I wanted to say. All right. Talk to you guys later.
Wait. Which one?
What's the Culture Bowl? What am I missing?
Which one's the? I should know the answer to that. There we go.
Whoa.
So we both have to wear Wiseman jerseys on stream. Is that what's up? By the way, I gotta look that one up. Miami Warriors. March 26th. Yeah, it's an appropriate amount of time. It's like the Persian New Year. I really don't want to bring in the Persian New Year wearing a Wiseman jersey. That feels disrespectful.
So the Giants have a month to pay Chapman $100 million. Is what?
No, it's already over, man. It's over. We both lost. We're just gonna have to admit to it. We both lost.
Honestly, we deserve to lose. Deserve it. So
I thought I was getting Caruso at the deadline. I was gonna try to
would Caruso have won you the bet? Yeah, I was gonna say, would that even
technically not? He's not a high enough salary. So, but I would have been ready to argue it. So.
I mean, I didn't even try arguing Soler. So I mean, come on, that's half of the $100 million. Not for Caruso. All right, who do we got? BJ.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
What's up, brother?
You hanging in there. What's up, man?
So last time I called in, it was against Denver, right? When they threw that game. So yeah, things changed. And so I have couple of takes since then. Happy to see Kuminga turning things around. I think Andy, you mentioned for the worst to be good this season, Kuminga needs to take a step up. So is that still your take? Do you still think Warriors have a shot with Kuminga playing well?
I think so. He's taken a step up. I think the threading the needle, I think before the season, one of the big ones that I had, one of the big takes was, look, if the Warriors aren't going to win the championship or be in the championship, Kuminga's got to look like a guy that can help them win the next championship. Honestly, I wouldn't say he's there yet, but also he's taken a leap. It's really hard to take the leap all the way there. It's basically Kawhi, but I think there's a couple levels up from where he is now for me to say after the season, like, hey, that's the man. I mean, right? It's just, I think tonight, for example, it's like you got it offensively, maybe a little more versatile, right? Like mid-range game, defensively, all that stuff. Again, I just think it's gonna take longer for him to get there, but it's promising. It's promising because they're not gonna win the championship, but it is promising that next season we're gonna get a way better version of Kuminga and Bajemski. I think and please, for the love of God, no more first round picks because they don't have one. So it's just it's those two guys are going to be 30-minute players next season. I think at least that's probably the takeaway you get out of it, because you're not trading either of them either. You're not going anywhere unless you're getting. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like it's worth noting, like, a lot of, like, if Kuminga takes a step, they're a contender. Assumed Clay was not going to take a step backwards. Wiggins was not going to take a step backwards. So, like, context, Looney wasn't going to take a step backwards.
Oh,
so,
boy.
like, there's a lot of moving parts in this whole thing. But, like, I can't be unhappy with where Kuminga's at right now. I feel like this is what I thought he would. This is what I thought it's like an upside scenario of what he could be this year.
Yeah, no,
cool.
I agree. Especially if Wiggins stepping up, then that's also another key point.
Cool.
One of your podcasts, I forgot which one, but one of you guys was hating on Shams with his leather jacket. Which one was it? Andy or was it Sam? Who's
probably both of us?
Bro, you guys need to pay him some respect.
When we find out that he's dating Kay Adams, that's where the respect will come from. But for now, he might be.
Bro, that Riz game is on point. Do you see the shoes he got her?
Yeah.
Woo.
I think that's a staged social media event. I think he's doing that to make himself look like a human. He's watched Woj.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't want to be seen as a robot like that. Here's a mill, K. Flirt with me on TV so people think I'm real. I'm not buying any of it. I'm gonna need not until I see TMZ release photos of them on a date they didn't want out there. Am I buying anything? I'm
even that will
no
be
respect
staged.
to the leather jacket.
Even
no
that will be
respect to the
staged.
leather jacket.
It's a fellow brown man, Sam. How you gonna hate on Shams like that, brother? Come on, man.
You're hardest on those you love the most. BJ, I love you. Thanks for calling in, man.
Oh my god, that's good. That's good.
All right, we got Aussie coming up next.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Oh, just 2 slabs of meat on the AV. All right. What's up, brother?
Come on, mate.
There we go.
What's up, man?
Oh, it's Friday. I got to get the barbie cranking, so that's why the mate's there. But usually I listen to your pod for a long, long time. First time calling in. But
Appreciate
it's Friday afternoon. Work's finished, so now's the right time. Couple of points I wanted to make. Wow, I've been listening to you guys. I could say so many things, but like the whole blaming Draymond for Poole going down the sink, I don't buy it. Like he got hit in the preseason. He played a couple of games after that. I think you go back and look at it. He played fine. As soon as he got the contract, the effort, then he was just not interested in playing real basketball anymore. That was it. And then we have the 2 timeline thing and the getting these like development players. I like this used to get brought up all the time, but the whole like Draymond 16 game players, had to like pick 16 game
Yeah.
players. Like, I think they got burnt with Jacob Evans, who just didn't quite work out. But and then they just went so far the other way that they just we're not going to get those 16 game players anymore. And I just think that they reverted to trying to get like untapped talent, and that didn't. With Kuminga it might work out, but with a few others it didn't. Anyway, thanks boys. Have a good hour.
Appreciate you. Have a great one, my man.
Dude, is there a better feeling than late Friday afternoon? Just grilling meat.
I know. I'm watching that. I'm like, God, can it be Friday afternoon?
I know,
and
dude.
Maybe I want a barbecue. It's been raining all week, so my mind's not in the barbecue thing. But like, it does sound very nice. Right?
Are you a barbecue guy? Or do you cook the meat usually?
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, I'm not.
I don't so like I don't have a good grill. Like I live in a condo, so like the patio isn't amazing for grilling. Like I can do.
You guys got
bit,
open space, like electric grill or something?
Yeah, it's not great.
Not good.
Anyway, it's noted, but I say we end it there. We can do barbecue takes later.
Light Years Australia. We'll see you guys on Sunday night.
Appreciate everyone.